Hey guys, welcome to the Everything Communication podcast, episode 17. You guys are already sick of hearing me say this now, but I cannot believe that we're actually here. Like, literally, you guys don't know. Episode 4, when I started doing these, I was like, bro, this is so bad. What am I even talking about? Like, but to be here now, to have kept going, pushing past, it's giving me energy, it's giving me motivation to keep it going. It's actually a bit later than I would usually record one of these episodes. I usually record at like maybe 6 or something like that, 6:30. But it's 9:11 right now, 9:11 p.m. And that actually links quite nicely in with the thing that I'm going to be speaking to you guys about today, right? So I just come off the back of a 3-day conference, and every day was an early start. So I'd have to be up like 5 a.m. because the conference would start at like 7, and it wouldn't finish until late in the day, right? The first day didn't properly finish until like 9. Um, Yesterday, similar timing. Some of the guys didn't get back until like 11 p.m. And then today we finished a bit earlier, right? But it was still the same 7 a.m. start. So not a lot of sleep, and still had to be there, be attentive, and me and a couple of the people that I went with, we were actually volunteering there as well, right? So we were actually doing stuff. We weren't just chilling, sitting down in our seats, taking notes or whatever. We actually had to be like engaged, locked in. This is a conference of over 4,000 people. And I still had to come home after those days. I still had to come home today, right? So I recently just launched my first sales funnel. Yeah, yeah. We're making moves, man. I just realized this mic is actually so far away, but it's quite good. So I'm hoping you guys would have been able to hear me this whole time, but I'll just move it a bit closer towards me. Um, so I basically just had 3 back-to-back really long days, and I've had to come back and still do work on the funnel because there's a piece of it that I needed to improve. I came back, I was so tired. I was like, I can't lie, I just want to watch anime and chill. But the reality is, if I didn't do it now, it's not just me taking a break. It's not just me choosing to relax for one day, because that's what we can seem like, right? That's what we can tell ourselves. Oh, well, it's not that deep. It's just one day. Like, let me just chill. Reality is though, that one day means you're pushing back your results by a day. And if every time you get to a point where it's like you're tired or you can't be bothered or something's long, it's stressing you, it's annoying, and you say, oh, it's not that deep, I'll just leave it for tomorrow. Over time, you're pushing things back not only by days, but by weeks and by months. Because when you don't do it tomorrow, and then next week you're on holiday, and then the week after that you come back, you're sick. Now there's this 2-week gap when you could have just done it if you pushed through and maybe did another 30 minutes and maybe another hour, made some sort of progress. And I say that not to be like, oh, you should have no work-life balance, or you should have no semblance of taking a break or resting, but actually to highlight the importance of actually being passionate about the thing that you're pouring into. If you've got something that you're working on outside of your 9 to 5, your day job, if you don't actually care about that thing or the people that you're serving through doing that thing, it's going to become such an energy drainer, such an energy sapper, that there's no point doing it just for the money. You'll reach to a point where, as mad as it sounds, especially if you're in a situation or a position right now where all you can think about or see is making more money to get out of your current situation, you'll get to a point where you're like, I don't care. Like, that money doesn't matter anymore. But that won't happen. The drive won't go away. The same hunger that you have now will still be there. If it's something that you genuinely care about, it will be a lot easier to get back on the horse, even when you've fallen off. If it's something that you're actually like, no, this is I would do this without getting paid. And so a bit of a question for you guys that are listening is what is that thing for you? Like what is the thing that you would do without getting paid? What's the thing that you would do? What's the thing that you would regret not doing if you could never do it? If God forbid next week was your last week on earth, what would be the thing that you would say, I wish I did? Right. So there's that thing, but there's also I'm just gonna turn on the fan because it's actually like ridiculously hot inside. There's that part of it which is like you need to pick something that you really care about and you're really interested in, but there's also a thing of like, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to push to the side so that this thing can actually take precedent, so that this thing can actually be a priority? And there'll probably be a season of time where you have to be sacrificing sleep. I'll be real. You have to be sacrificing leisure. You have to be sacrificing gaming or watching TV or going having long calls with your friends. Like whatever your thing is, if there is no replacement of your leisure time with the time that you're using to build the thing that you're trying to build, it will just become stagnant. Like you won't get past a certain stage. And for a lot of us, that is just the initial stage of even launching something or even getting something off the ground. And the same is so true when it comes to public speaking as well, right? Like for you to actually be a good speaker, people can tell the difference between someone who's just doing a presentation because they want to do a presentation and someone who actually cares about the thing they're speaking about, someone who's actually there to give. But that poses the question of, what do I do if I'm speaking about something I don't really care about? What do I do if I'm speaking about giving a sales presentation at work, or I'm talking about the quarterly review? How am I supposed to care about that? Like, it's not really my thing. Quite simply, you need to switch your focus from caring about the topic to caring about the audience. And you will notice that the best public speakers, when they speak, they are in the room. And I don't mean that just physically, right? But they are present. They're picking up on things that are happening. They can see the way that the audience are reacting to the way that they speak and adjust the way that they deliver the content accordingly. If they feel like the room's getting a bit quiet, they'll maybe add in a bit more high energy activities or start engaging the audience more, involving them more, adding a bit of a workshop type thing or playing a game with people in the audience to get the energy back up. That only happens if you care about your audience. You're only able to have your finger on the pulse like that and actually be great at public speaking if you genuinely have them in your mind and are thinking about, how can I best serve these guys? How can I make sure that these guys are getting the best experience, rather than thinking about the fact that you don't like the topic or it's so boring, or making sure that you say all of the right things and that you're a perfect public speaker, because the reality is that just doesn't exist. And I say this is true for public speaking, but for those of you that are listening and maybe you're thinking about at work, in team meetings, or even one-on-one speaking with people, there can be conversations that you're having and you don't really care about the topic. But if you care about the people, if you care about the person, it's a lot easier to apply yourself to think about what they care about, to think about how they will best gain from the conversation that you're having or the thing that you're presenting or the thing that you're talking about, to be able to actually then deliver something of value to them, which will actually make you seem like a better public speaker than trying to be perfect and not use any filler words or do any stuttering or anything like that. So I hope this is giving you something to think about, and also gotten you to actually ponder on the question of, what would I do if I wasn't getting paid to do it? What would I speak about if I wasn't getting paid to speak? I think once you find that thing, it's a lot easier to then move forward with clarity and know that this is something that you actually want to build. This is something that you actually want to get good speaking about, or put a bunch of time and effort into researching and all that kind of stuff, rather than it just sounds good or it'll make money. Obviously, there is a balance there, but make sure that other part is high on the priority list of selecting something to just pour a lot of time into. And with that, I will speak to you guys next week for episode 18 of the Everything Communication podcast. That's actually nuts to say. That's nuts. Take care. God bless.